Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Beyond. It is episode 25. You know what that means? That means there is a world download in the description for you guys if you want to download it and check out what we've been working on here. It will be up to date with everything that has been done through the end of this episode. So, if you want to check it out, world download in the description. You just got to download it. Put the zip file in your saves folder in the FTB Beyond directory, and then extract the save, and you should be good to go. So, in today's episode, what I would like to do is I would pretty much like to finish the village. We had a live stream yesterday for you guys, and we made a couple minor changes. I decided that for the little itty-bitty derpy houses, the ones like this, we were gonna kind of keep them in the same theme, except we were just gonna make them a little bit bigger and put more of a triangular roof on them. And they look a little bit derpy, but I'm totally okay with that. I think that fits with the idea that, I mean, let's be honest, this is kind of a derpy house too. So I think it fits pretty well. So we did that with these two houses. We still need to tackle these two over here, but that's going to be pretty easy. And then we've got this house to deal with, which currently houses our portals. Our portal right here to the mining dimension, and then our nether portal as well. And we need to deal with that. In the live stream, we also renovated this house that was over here and, made it into another house that fits within the theme of the village. A little bit of a bay window over here kind of sticking out, which I think is kind of cool. But anyway, so I think what we should probably do for starters is figure out our portal situation. Now, I've been toying around with the idea of what to do with this house pretty much since we started the village transformation project. The problem is this house is orange, and it sticks out like a sore thumb. And where you can kind of get away with it, with like the immersive engineering house, having some different colors, not so much with this. This is a house from forestry. Has some apiaries and some cool stuff in it. I mean, it has some useful stuff here, but at the same time, this thing is just very out of place, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do away with it. I'm just going to get rid of it entirely, and we're going to figure out something different to do with our portals. I don't want to just have portals sitting out in the open or even nestled into a house. I want to do something kind of cool for a nether portal design. The mining dimension, I'm going to do something a little different. I think I'm just going to take this whole portal frame. Can I break this with a pick? Yeah, I totally can. I'm just going to take the whole portal to the mining dimension, and we're just going to get rid of it. And, well, not get rid of it, but we're just going to move the whole thing underground. Because the thing with the mining portal dimension is that it has to be in a very specific shape. Like, it won't work otherwise. And that really kind of limits some of the things that you can do with it, which I don't think is a good thing per se. So, and for that matter, we really don't need to go into the mining dimension, like, ever. So I'm not really super concerned. Let's see, do I still have... Yeah, I still have my mining multi-tool, so we could just light that. There we go. All right, so moving back to the other house, the forestry house. Here's what I'm thinking. I think what we're going to do is we're going to tear this down, and we're going to use, for a nether portal design, I think we're going to make like a little cemetery graveyard type thing, and we'll incorporate the nether portal into that cemetery. And I think that'll be super cool. And it will give us kind of a thematic way to still have a nether portal that's a functional part of the village, but also kind of incorporate it into a build in a way that looks cool and interesting. So let me go ahead and get this house torn down, and then I'll be back with you. All right, guys, I am back. Check this out. We got the house torn down, and then I made a little bit of a platform here, like a wall that kind of elevates this little section. And this is where our graveyard itself is going to go. And I have some ideas for this. There's a couple things I want to try. Let's just grab a couple stacks of those. And then let's also grab a couple stacks of iron bars. And I'm not sure if iron bars can go on top of fences like this. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, cool. So here's the plan, right? We're going to bring cobblestone walls around like this. Oh, those don't connect. You know what? It'll be okay. It'll be fine. And we're just going to bring these iron bars around the edge as well. So we're going to kind of essentially fence off this area, right? And we could maybe even do something like this on top of these supports that I put down, just to kind of make that a little bit more interesting. Let's take a sleep. Take a little bit of a nap real quick. There we go. Okay, and then we do something like that. That seems good. Yeah, so then our entrance ends up over here somewhere? I'm almost thinking it would be better to have an entrance like right here. And we'd go grab ourselves some oak slabs, do something like that, right? So you can kind of come up and enter into the cemetery. Although, then the question becomes, well, no, it should be fine because they won't connect. Yeah, this should actually work just fine. Let's grab some of these guys. And let's fill this in with stone brick as well. And because this is all path blocks, this part won't connect properly. Like, they won't connect to the path blocks over there, which is actually good. That's what we want. We don't want them to connect to the path blocks. It looks a little weird, but I'm okay with it. I think it's fine. So then we've got our cemetery area kind of marked out right here, which I think is good. Then we can kind of further decorate this. If we bring a couple pillars up, maybe here, in the corners, right? Just to kind of help this out a little bit. I'm also thinking I want to scoot this one in this direction, maybe? Maybe not. Maybe rip. That's all right. It's fine. But we can maybe do something like that. Like, we'll have like a little gate right here. This is going to have to be replaced with path block. There we go. Could do something like that. And I think this is laid out in such a way. I didn't actually count the dimensions. I'm just kind of winging it a little bit. But that's not going to work. It's not quite enough to be able to make the whole thing like that. So we're going to have to kind of change this up a little bit. Let me get these spaced out the way I want, and then I'll be back with you. All right, guys, I am back. So we've got the cemetery in place. I've got all these kind of supports or parts of the fence in place. I think it looks really good as well. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's awesome. So now what we need to do is we need to get our actual gravestones and stuff like that in place. And I want to look. We've got gravestones from DecoCraft. So I think what we want to do, let's go ahead and make the Deco bench. Deco bench. Couldn't see it for a minute. And of course, I am missing things. That's all right. Red dye. And I don't have any green dye. Do I have anything that can be turned into green dye? Not there. I mean, I don't have a lot of cactus, but I do have some cactus. I guess we will smelt this cactus. That's not going to be nearly enough, so hopefully I don't need much of it. Wait, what else? Oh, and I need a crafting table. Okay, there we go. All right, so we'll make the deco bench. And let's just put this down in our house, like right here. This should be fine, okay? Then we'll grab ourselves a bit of clay. Probably don't need that much, but we'll put a bunch of clay in here. And then I need red, blue, and green. And I'm a little concerned, honestly. The red, that's easy. We've got tons of red. And I can very easily bone meal it to get, like, all the red. See what I mean? Just red is easy. Red is very easy to get in massive quantities. So I'm not concerned about red. We'll just insert and insert. There we go. Lapis, also super easy. I have tons of it. Green, on the other hand, that could present an issue, because I don't really have any cactus. Like, I've got 4 cactus right now, and that's not nearly enough. I could make some more snad, and in fact, I think I'm going to help grow some cactus for me. This is not going to be enough, though. Like, not even remotely close. It will grow, and it will grow faster than it would if it were on regular sand, but still, like, I need far more than that. Luckily, I think I have an idea. So we had a stream, as I mentioned, and last episode we went and we did some exploring, and we found ourselves that mesa biome. And I think we can probably find all the cactus we need there. Yep, just wanted to make sure I have my charged porter with me so I can get back home. But I think I can fly around here and get the cactus I need. Now, will my hatchet... Yeah, hatchet will insta-mine the cactus. Good, good, good. Okay, let me run around, get a bunch of cactus, and then I'll be back with you. Oh my gosh, guys. These bunnies have top hats on them. What? What in the world? What is going on? Come back! Come back, Those are the fanciest bunnies I've ever seen. What? I'm so confused. I am so incredibly... I have no idea what's happening here. Thank goodness for flight. That could have been bad. Anyway, though, I think I have enough cactus now that we should be good. So let's take our charged porter home. There's actually, as you can see, a desert right next to that mesa. So that will help out pretty significantly. Let's throw our cactus in here. The rest I'm just going to let it cook and grow that way. This should be plenty. Once you actually have the stuff in the deco bench, it's really not super expensive. Like, you can get a lot of mileage out of your dyes and things that you throw in there. So I'm not super concerned about running out. But with that said, it's always nice to have a source of cactus and other green dye and whatnot. But there we go. So that's 216 green dye and plenty of other stuff. Let's take a look at gravestones. So I want to see if I take this guy. Yeah, look at that. It lowered everything by 1. Piece of cake. Let's just grab a variety of these gravestones. All right, guys, I am back. So I've got a bunch of gravestones, and also the nice thing about DecoCraft is that any of these that I don't use, I can actually just put them back in the deco bench and get my materials back, which is super useful. So let's start putting some of these guys down. Now, I think, actually, before I do that, let's grab just a little bit of cobble and kind of mark out where we're going to put our portal. So we're going to need a 4 wide space for the portal. which means realistically, I'm going to need probably about that much space for it to hide everything and all that kind of stuff. So let's just kind of mark out an area like this. Be like, this is our portal area, right? This is where our portal's going to go. So then the rest of this, now that we know that, the rest of this can be dedicated to gravestones. So we'll put like a gravestone here, maybe one here, maybe in between we do one of the cross ones, and then over here we can do something like that, right? And we'll just kind of mark out some of these gravestones. The cool thing is they can be turned, like if you want, right? But I don't think that would make sense in a cemetery like this. I don't think they would be. So let's just maybe go like that. And actually, let me figure out how I want to lay out all these different gravestones, guys, and then I'll be back with you. All right, so we've got all the tombstones laid out. I think this is probably the most sensible layout, right? Just 2 rows over here and a row over here, just to keep it nice and simple. Now, let's grab some obsidian so we can put our portal down where we want it, and that will be right here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, with, let's not lay it out using, yeah, there we go. And I do want to go with the portal of the smallest size possible, I think. We'll make it like that. That should be good. And then I'll light it in a minute. But I want to cover this up and make it look, kind of interesting. So let's go. I'll just put the gravestones back in here for the minute. Let's grab some regular stone, some stone brick, and maybe some of these cracked stone. These like cobblestone bricks, those could actually be really good. And I think I'm going to stay away from andesite in this build. I think. Don't hold me to that if I change my mind, but we'll have to see. Okay. So let's lay out a back kind of foundation, if we will. I'll light the portal later. I'm not going to light it right this second, but let's maybe do something like that. We'll grab our builder's wand. There it is. And let's just kind of build this up to about here, right? So we got kind of like a little thing going. And that appears to have been literally all of the stone. Okay, stone, please, thank you. Okay, so we'll go maybe like so. And let's just fill in those gaps right there. Now, what I want this to do is basically be like one of those... How would you even describe it? I don't know what they're called. They're like the little, like... You'll see them in, like, especially older cemeteries. They're kind of like family tombs, I guess. Like, where they would bury a whole, like a crypt, I guess, kind of, sort of, not really. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I know what I'm talking, I know what I'm thinking of. I know what it is in my head. I just don't know the proper terminology for it. But I'm thinking we'll go something along these lines. Actually, no. You know what? Instead of using this, let's get rid of these. I do want to have kind of a simple roof on it. Nothing super fancy. But I think what we'll do, throw these in here and give me your stone slabs, because these things are amazing. I wish this was a block that was in vanilla. Unfortunately, it's not. But man, do I wish this block was in vanilla. I would use this all the time. Like, can you imagine just the landscaping possibilities? Oh, I see. You're gonna be like that. Okay. So we're gonna have to... Oh, that's gonna be annoying. So let's see. Here. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be super annoying. let's do something like this then. So you would become like that. Then we do a slab here. And actually, these would both be slabs as well. So we'd have something kind of like that for our shape, which isn't the greatest shape in the world, but it'll work, at least for the time being. Let me finish up this little part, and then I'll be back with you. All right, guys, I am back, and I think I have an idea for how I can kind of dress this up a little bit. One of my favorite blocks in Hermit Pack was hardened stone from Environmental Tech. Now, you can't find hardened stone naturally generated in the world in FTB Beyond, at least as far as I can tell. Maybe it's possible, but I sure haven't found any. And I've done a fair amount of mining. However, you can craft it, and it's basically just regular smooth stone and cobblestone, so it's not difficult to craft. But I think what we could do to add a little bit of interest to this baby is give the roof of this little thing essentially an outline of hardened stone slabs, so it doesn't blend quite so much, because we do kind of want it to pop a little bit, right? We want to give it a little bit of just kind of a little bit of contrast, not a lot of contrast. I want this whole structure to be stone, but enough contrast that it doesn't just look like one giant cobblestone blob, so to speak. And I think this will do the trick quite nicely. So we've got kind of this little sarcophagus type deal going, and I think that actually looks really good. I quite like that. So now let's grab some cobblestone walls and some cobblestone stairs, and maybe we do something like this, just to kind of help that shape a little bit. And then we could, well, no, because I can't do the same thing on the other side. Maybe we could do like one of these with some stairs kind of coming around like so. What do we think of that? Yeah, that's kind of nice. Maybe we get, ooh, I have an idea. Maybe we do something like that, right? Give it those little feet at the bottom, and then we grab our iron bars right here. We go up 3 and out like that, so it looks like there's this open door, right? Like the gates are open to our sarcophagus, and that'll then kind of lead in here. So I think that's pretty cool. Grab our flint and steel, light up our portal, and there we go. We now have our village nether portal, which I think is pretty cool. Now we need to do a little bit with this, because this is very plain and not interesting. So let's grab, I do have some coarse dirt, good. Do I have any, oh, that's right, brown concrete powder isn't a thing in this pack, is it? Oh, concrete powder, I miss you so much. It's such a... I have to say, for those of you who don't really follow vanilla Minecraft at all, Minecraft, in their newest update, in 1.12, added concrete and concrete powder in the most recent snapshots. And I will say, it is an absolutely gorgeous block that has so many potential uses. Like, I find myself using it all the time for everything from landscaping to walls to, like, you name it, just all sorts of crazy stuff, and it's really quite cool. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of it. I think it's an amazing addition to the game, and you'll be seeing a lot of it. What do we think of that? Maybe we kind of emphasize this a little bit more as kind of the path, right? Just a little bit, and then as it kind of splits off over here, it kind of does its own thing a little bit more. Maybe hardened clay like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Grab ourselves a bit of bone meal just to kind of finish this off. We'll just kind of bone meal some of this. I want this to look kind of like an unkept cemetery. I don't want it to look like it's been, super well maintained, or that there's like a groundskeeper who keeps everything all, up and functional. I want it to look a little bit overgrown and a little bit kind of unkept and uncared for, and I think that does the trick. So we got our gravestones and stuff like that. I think that's a pretty cool way to kind of incorporate a nether portal into this Minecraft village without breaking the feel of it and all that kind of stuff. So I'm actually really happy with that. I think it's good, and I think for all intents and purposes, the village is done. There's a couple little minor tweaks and changes that I still want to do. I need to free the villagers and put them in more of these kiosks. I need to clean up these houses, little things like that, but nothing that I feel really requires a video be dedicated to it. So guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the episode right here. As I said, there is a world download in the description if you want to check it out. As for me, though, I'm out of time. My friends, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.